Hi, welcome. You're the first one in. Um, there's our do now, by the way, or kind of like the directions. Just put a smiley face in the chat. I'll wait for everyone to get in here. Thank you for being here. Hey, thank you for being here. Is this, by the way, is this Natalie, the one who just joined? The one that says Mario Avalos, is that Natalie? Oh, sorry, let me check the chat. Awesome. Thank you, Angelica, for doing the do now. Welcome, welcome. We have our do now on the little board right there. That's how I'm taking attendance, just put the little smiley face. Perfect, thank you. I got you. Cool, as you're entering in the do now, and the first thing to do is on the board there. Great, thank you for those who are putting their little smiley face in the chat. That's how I'm recording attendance. Great. Thank you for those who are putting their little smileys in the chat. That's how I'm checking attendance for those who just came in. All right, everybody, welcome. Do make sure you're putting a little smiley in the chat, and then I'll read off who currently is absent so that I could, you know, make sure that you're actually here. If you haven't yet, put a little smiley in the chat. All right, awesome, thank you. So just to double check, these are who I have right now who are absent, and if you're actually here, let me know, just unmute yourself. So I have Kalaya as absent, Yazareth, Shakira, Rainy, Dior, Ernesto, Clinton, Nina, Angel, and KK. So those are who I have absent. So if you're here, please make sure you let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and put this into my phone. That's where I have my Power School. I'm gonna be turning on my camera in a second. Let me check the chat to see something in the chat. Okay, awesome. Thank you for all those who are putting in the little smiley faces. Okay. Well, welcome in. So KK, you're here. I'm gonna update the attendance. All right, cool. So welcome everybody. Let me go ahead and turn on my camera. First off, I'm Mrs. Sedano. Let me go over the agenda in a second. I am recording this session so that for those who need it, if you do need a recording of this to follow up, just email me or text me once you have my remind. Let's go over today's agenda. Okay, number one, we're going to be talking about norms. Like, what are the norms of this specific class? Who am I? So I'm Mrs. Sedano. You're going to be introducing yourselves. We're going to be joining the Remind in Google Classroom. And then we're going to be actually starting notes today. So function review, and it's going to be submitted on Google Classroom today. So it's going to be our first assignment. And I don't know if we'll get to the exit ticket today, but if we don't, that's fine. For me, I want to prioritize getting to know you all first and introductions and all that jazz instead of like getting to work straight up, which we will though later on. But right now, I'm getting to know you all. Even if it's, you know, by your voice, things like that, that's okay. Hi, welcome, Clinton. I added you in and I'll update the attendance. Cool. All right, everybody. So these are the norms. It's basically the same thing you all seen in advisory. Active listening, one kind, be kind, both in and outside of the chat, respect different ideas. The only part that I added was just be prepared with notebook and pencil. Since we are doing math, sometimes I might be asking you to take pictures. Like today, I'm going to ask you to take pictures of your notes and to submit that. Paper and pencil for notes is strongly recommended. All right. Next, who am I? So I'm going to give an overview of who I am. If you're in my advisory, I kind of talked about who I was, but I think I added some different stuff. So let's see. So I am from the Bay. I'm from Hayward. And right now I'm currently in Hayward doing these live lessons. I went to Chabot Community College here in Hayward, and then I transferred over to UC Berkeley and got my degree in math. Just because it always gets asked, so I might as well just make sure I'm clear. So I am Mexican American. My parents are both Mexican, and I was born here. So I have like Mexican culture background, but I also have the American cultural background from growing up from here. And it just always gets asked, so that's what I am. I like cute fuzzy stuff. I am introverted, so that means you know, you're not going to see me dancing around and all that. For those of you who've seen me back, you know, if you were 9th, 10th grade, so I've never been like, you know, all wild and stuff. I mostly keep my energy inside. So that's my thing. And sometimes if I'm really happy, I don't really show it. That's just part of my, you know, personality. My fear. So just so y'all get to know me a little bit better, I do have like a fear. Actually, I have a lot of fears, but one of them is this. I have a fear of actually going up and down the escalators. So I can do it. It will just take me like 2 to 3 minutes to like do it. And I don't want to hold up the line. So sometimes I just use the stairs or I use the elevator. So elevators are okay. Escalators are not. And yeah, so that's just a little fear I have. Cool. Speaking of cute and fuzzy stuff, so I do have 2 rabbits. And this summer I kind of spent training one of my rabbits to be on the leash outside. This I took this past weekend right before classes started to, you know, have some fun. So yeah, I'm gonna, for sure, if you follow my Instagram, I just have a bunch of pictures of my rabbits. Yeah, they're like a dog to me, so yeah. All right, now that I got like introduced myself a little bit, it's gonna be your turn to introduce yourselves. So this is how it's gonna go. You're gonna tell me your name. So that one's important. I'm gonna say your name, but if I say it wrong, please correct me. You're gonna say your name or what nicknames you'd rather be called. And you're gonna only answer one of the following. You may do more than one if you like feel like extra sharing. And we're gonna be going in order. I'm gonna post in the chat right now what order we're going. What you're gonna be doing though to share is you're gonna be unmuting yourself and then sharing. Here are the 3 options of what you can share. What college do you plan to go to? What is your favorite snack? And what critter, that means like bug, animal, scares you the most? So those are the 3 things. And let me also add this right here. So remember, in advisory, they talked about turning on camera. So remember, turning on camera when participating is strongly encouraged and appreciated to be present in the space. So, but that does not mean you're required to turn on your camera. It just means we can't dock you if you don't. Don't worry about like, oh, they're gonna take off points, because we're not gonna do that. We just encourage you to turn on your camera when you share. That's all. So go ahead and start thinking about what you're gonna share, and I'm gonna go ahead and post the order. I'm just letting in a few people. All right, so here we go. So basically today's order, whoops, for sharing, it's here under my thing. By the way, we have like a class of like 30, more than 30 people. And once we get back into actual classes, we are not gonna fit. So I don't know how that's gonna work, because I only have like 28 seats in the class. But yeah. All right, let me go ahead and paste the list. So this is the order that we're gonna be going in. Okay. So the first person, just get ready to share. I could go first, and then we'll just go on to the first person here in the list. So my name. So my name is Yesenia Sedano. I go by Mrs. Sedano. And I'm gonna choose number 3. The critter or bug that scares me the most is, it doesn't scare me actually, I'm more disgusted by it. It's maggots, like maggots that are all like in trash, or like if you leave food out and maggots grow, those things creep me out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over to Shima.
Hi, my name is Shayma. I'm going to answer number 1. What college are you plan to go to? I plan to go to UCSF or San Diego.
Perfect, thank you, Shima. Next we have Kalaya. If you're here, I marked you absent, but if you're here, let us know. All right. Next is Justin.
Hi, my name is Justin, and the critter that it doesn't really scare me, but it's just like you said, disgusting. Are silverfish. Those are disgusting. And yeah.
I don't know what they are, but I think I'll look them up now. Awesome. I think Kalaya, you just joined us. We're sharing this checking question. So like say your name and what college you plan. So either one of the lists. I'll come back to you at the end if you're not ready though. Or you can use the chat. Next we have, it says Shakira.
Yeah, my name is Shakira, and my favorite snack would be like ice cream or something.
Perfect, thank you. And Kalaya, were you ready to go?
I can go.
Yes.
My name is Kalia. I want to go to UC Davis or Tuskegee in the future. Do I have to answer all questions or just one?
Just one. Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Awesome. And then Shakira and Justin went. Natalie.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and a bug that scares me the most are spiders.
Thank you. Diva.
Hi, my name is Diva, and the college that I want to go to is Holy Names or LSU.
Perfect. Thank you. Dior, if you're here.
Hi, my name's Dior, and a critter that scares me and makes my body crawl are ants.
Okay, ants. Thank you. Jayla.
Hi, my name's Jayla, and my favorite snacks is hot chips.
Perfect. Thank you. Let me make my so I can actually see it. So after Jayla, it's Ernesto. Okay. Ernesto, I think I marked you absent, so we're gonna move on. Kevin.
My name is Kevin, and my favorite snack is fruit.
Oh, okay, that's healthy. Awesome. Thank you. Fabiano.
Oh, hi, my name is Fabiano, and my favorite snack is hot chips.
Okay, a lot of hot chip fans. Thank you. Shaylin.
Hi, my name is Shaylin, and a critter that would scare me the most is probably roaches. Yeah.
For sure. Add to that flying roaches, but okay. Next, Anna.
Hello, my name is Anna. My favorite snack, my favorite snack is chocolate.
Perfect. Thank you. Jose.
My name's Jose, and I plan to go to probably like UC Davis or UC Santa Cruz.
Thank you. Jonathan.
My name is Jonathan, and I'm not scared of them, but I just find them disgusting. Is roaches, pregnant roaches,
Wait, what was that last part?
pregnant roaches.
Oh boy, that's even worse. Okay. Thank you. Next we have, sorry if you see it. Is it Clinton?
Yeah, hey, my name is CJ, and the college I plan to go to is between UC Berkeley, Stanford, or Howard.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Next is Nina, if you are here. Okay, let's move on. Jimena.
Hi, my name is Jimena, and the critter or bug that scares me the most is maggots.
Yes, thank you. And Jaleel.
Hello. I got here. I didn't really know where I was supposed to go.
That's okay. I mark you here now that you're here. I'll just update that on Power School. Are you ready to share? Or do you want us to come back to you?
Come back to me.
Okay. Ariana.
Hi, my name is Ariana, and recently my favorite snack has been fruit.
Awesome. Sorry, losing track here. Angel. If you're here, I think I marked you absent. All right. Zion.
Oh, hi, I'm Zion, and an animal that I'm scared of is anteaters.
Those they have like a long nose type of thing, right?
No, it's more the claws that scare me more than anything. So.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Wow, yeah, that is. To be honest, I don't know what their claws look like, but I'm gonna look it up. Next we have Angelica.
Hi, my name is Angelica, and the college I plan to go is Chabot.
Awesome. That's where I went, so it's cool. Amara.
My name is Amara, and my favorite snacks is chips.
Awesome. And then Simia, I hope I'm saying your name correct. So I got your reply in the chat. Favorite snack, Oreos, and afraid of all bugs except butterflies. Awesome. Julio.
My name is Julio, and my favorite snack is blueberries.
That's good. Awesome. Thank you. Cassandra.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cassie, and I plan to go to UC Berkeley.
Awesome. Thank you. Jazane. Jazane, if you're here. Uh-oh. I think we can't hear you well. I don't know if anyone, I didn't hear you well. Are you able to put your answer in the chat? Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing. So Jazane said, I plan to go to Georgia State University. Awesome. Thank you. And I hope, like, I don't know if I said your name correctly, but let me know. And this one to Atsiri.
It's at City, and my favorite snack is goldfish.
Okay, thank you. And then KK. KK, are you in?
Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. My name is Sakaya, and my first snack is popsicles.
And your what?
My favorite snack is popsicles.
Oh, okay, popsicles. Awesome. And then Jaleel in the chat, he said his favorite snack is Cheez-Its. All right, thank you all for sharing. And let me just double check because a few of us came in late. So the people who are absent is Yazareth, Shakira, Rainey, Ernesto, Nina, Angel, and that's it. So if you are here, please let me know because they will be marked absent. So
I'm here.
who's this?
Shakira.
Shakira, my bad. Thank you. If I miss anyone else, please let me know. All right, cool. Thank you all for sharing. Even if it's through voice, I mean, we could still get to know each other that way, and hopefully we get to meet in person so that we, actually build personal relationships and whatnot. All right, so we are here in period 3. Let's go ahead and take some time to join the pre-calculus remind classroom. So you're gonna text the number 81010, and what you're gonna text is at Sedanos3. Let's go ahead and give you all 2 minutes to do that. I'm gonna turn off my camera and mute myself so I could just see who's adding. But basically there's 27 of you in this room, so I should see 27 of you in the remind. If you have an issue, just use the chat, let me know. You could use the private chat. 2 minutes, I'll be back. So far we have 23 added. One of you let me know that you can't add it, and that's okay. Just let me know if there's difficulty in adding it. I think I'm waiting for 3 more people to get added. If you can't for some reason, just private message me. Okay, thank you all. So thank you. I received all those private messages for those who could not add it. So my only recommendation is it's very useful to have remind just because I'll be sending just in case if you forget stuff, reminders. But if you can't, it's not a humongous big deal because you could always reach me through Gmail or send me an email and that's fine. And plus we're gonna also have the more important one, which is Google Classroom. So let's go ahead and move on to this one here. So you want to add this code, the one that says period 3. So this is the code you want to add. Let's go ahead and take about 2 minutes. This one we should all have success, and if not, we're going to have to figure out a way to add you in. Okay. Let's see the code. I posted the code for those who messaged saying they couldn't see the code. It's in the chat. Well, just waiting on 5 more students. Again, if there's something preventing you, please make sure you message me. All right, everybody. So I will be posting these slides. So if for some reason you did not get a chance to add it, you want to make sure you add this classroom because we have work that's assigned today and also tomorrow. So do make sure that you have it. And then Ernesto, I got your attendance in. I'm just give me just give it a sec for Power School to update that. We just went over formal introductions and all that. Okay. Cool, y'all. So now let's go ahead and transition to our stuff that we're going to get ready to turn in today. So what you need right now is you need your notebook or, binder paper, whatever, and a pencil ready for notes. Again, you'll be submitting pictures of these at the end of class. So that means using your phone or whatever way you want to take a picture, you're going to take pictures of your notes. You're going to take that and you're going to submit it. So that's going to be on Google Classroom. And if you click on classwork, the classwork tab in Google Classroom, it's easier because it kind of organizes it under topics. But as you can see, we have today's assignment. It's due at midnight. So submitting your notes is due at midnight. And I already posted tomorrow's asynchronous lesson
at 2 o'clock. So I'll just call you when I'm done with this class. All right. And you better.
Anyway, sorry, somebody was unmuted. So tomorrow's asynchronous lesson is already on there. And as you can see, it's going to be due tomorrow, Friday, at midnight. So just be aware of those two things because we're not meeting as a pre-calculus class tomorrow. You only have advisory tomorrow, just as a heads up. All right, let's begin, y'all. So I hope you all got your binder paper, pencil ready. You're going to title this with a date and the title, which is going to just be about functions today. And I want you to write down our learning target, which is I can define and identify functions. So go ahead and start writing this down, but just some background is pre-calculus. Obviously, we'll get deeper than just functions. Usually, it's always just best practice to review like functions at the beginning of every math class because it's the thing we're going to talk about throughout the year, but we're going to build off of it, more deeply. So that's what we're doing for today. We're reviewing functions. And then I'll give you all like 30 seconds on each slide. And if I'm going too fast or whatever, just unmute yourself, let me know. All right, let's move on. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get these definitions down. So there's gonna be some definitions and then we'll have some examples. So let me also clarify, for you to get credit on your notes, you don't have to write this whole sentence stuff, just write the essential part of the notes. That's what makes it notes. Like you're putting just the essential parts that you need to know. It doesn't have to be like, I shouldn't see like full sentences, just put what you need. So here's what a function is. It's a special relationship where there's exactly one output for each input. How I like to think of it is this translation. Basically, one input cannot give you two different outputs. For me, it's easier to think of it like that. So that is what a function is. When a set of inputs and outputs don't have this special relationship, what we say they're called is just a relation. So when it's not a function, it's a relation. Functions are often written as y equals some expression involving x, where x is always called the input and y is always called the output. Oops, my bad. Let me go back. So I'm going to keep this slide on for 30 seconds because I'm finished with this slide now. And yes, the slides are on Google Classroom already, yes. And I think I am recording this. If you need this recording, just let me know and I'll send it to you via email. All right, 5 more seconds on this slide. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what is an example of an actual function. Here's one, y equals parentheses x minus 2 all squared. So first I'd like you to copy down, ignore this for now, I'm gonna talk about this in a sec. First, I need you to copy down its table and its corresponding graph. So copy down the table and graph, and then we're gonna talk about this. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. So that's why I'm just gonna make some annotations. So what makes this a function is because for every input, you have a matching output. So that's, what the heck? Hold on a second, I'm trying to draw this. Like so. So -1 goes to 9, 0 goes to 4. Every input has exactly just one output. Basically, it would have been not a function if one output gives you if one input gives you two different outputs, then it's not a function. Say, for example, that -1 gave you 9 and it gave you like 2. That would make it not a function because you can't have an input mapping to two different things or giving you two different outputs. But thankfully, that's not a case. This is a function. I do want you to notice this one here that's repeating for the y. It's okay for the y to repeat. So it's still a function if the y repeats. So that one is fine. So this is for sure a function. It's a parabola. And here's some further definitions you should know. So in the example above, the value of y depends on x. So y is also called the dependent variable. And it's also called the, and x is called the independent variable. So think of all the definitions we're getting right now. So we said before that x is always input. So x is now input and it's also the independent variable. And then y is the output and it's also called the dependent variable. So we're just getting additional definitions for what x and y are, just for clarity on that. Cool. Let me go ahead and clear my drawings and then we'll go on to the next slide. Okay, so another way to write a function is the notation f of x equals instead of y equals. The function f has the output called f of x and the input is always x. And then for example, in the table that we just drew, f of 5 equals 9. The input is 5 and the output is 9. And how you read that is f of 5 equals 9. Let me leave this on for 30 seconds. Awesome. We're good with this slide. So, some additional things you should know. The set of all inputs where there is an output is called the domain. The set of all possible outputs is called the range. In the example that we just drew, any x value can be input into the equation and we get an output called range. So an easier way to just think about this is the domain is always your x. I would like write that in your notes. And the range is always your y. So think about all this now. So we have 3 different ways we can describe x, 3 different ways. One is, it's called the input, it's called the independent variable, and it tells us the domain. The range is y, so we have 3 different things for y. Y is called the output, it's called the dependent variable, and it's also called the range of the function. So just think of those 3 definitions we just received. And so in this parabola, right, the one that you sketched, hopefully, if you didn't, you can sketch it still. It's the same problem we've been discussing. In this parabola, the domain is all real numbers. So that means the domain is x. That means x is all real numbers, because if you look up here in this graph, x goes this way, all of x, and it also goes all of negative x. It does that because this parabola keeps opening up, 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 and it's going to eventually reach and touch all x's. So that's why the x is all real numbers. The outputs, though, in this parabola, all possible y, are all greater than or equal to 0. So then we say that the range is y is greater than or equal to 0. And that's true. So if you go here, so notice how y is 0, and then y goes up, up, up here. So y is greater than or equal to 0. That's your range. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this on again for 30 seconds, and then we'll move on to the next slide. And please feel free to ask questions in the chat, or if you wanna unmute yourself, you're free to. So one question we have is it okay to take pictures? Yes, it is okay to take pictures for sure. And plus, I also will have the slides on Google Classroom, so you're free to take pictures of it, of all you want. I also have some people, they're doing their notes electronically, and what they're doing is they take screenshots of the slides and they just add any additional notes for themselves. That's, you all can do notes any way you want. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so we talked about what a function is. We talked about all the names x has, all the names that y has. Now let's look at what is a non-example of a function. So a non-example, let's see. This one, let's go ahead and write it down. This is not going to be a function, and we're going to look at y in a second. So first thing I'd like you to do is please copy down its table and its respective graph. So this is the table, and if you were to graph it, it looks like this. It's a circle. In a second, in about 30 seconds, I'm going to ask a question. So just prepare for that. I'm going to be asking why is it not a function, by the way. So be prepared to answer that if you want to, volunteer basis. Ah, shoot. Back. All right, everybody. So either in the chat or if you'd like to unmute yourself, can someone tell us why this right here is not a function? In the chat, or you may unmute yourself. So we have something, oops, we have something in the chat right now. Let's see what it says. Let me just take out my window here. From Justin says, because one input has 2 outputs. Zion says, equals more than one function. Okay, So I have some clarifying questions for that, Justin, or anyone else can answer is, well, where specifically do you see one input having two outputs so I could point it out for everyone else? And then Shema, you said 0 has more than one output. Just as it says on the table, 0 equals -1 and 1. And then CJ says input can only have one output for 0. Okay, so everyone's mentioning this right here. So let me circle the part. And this is for those who don't understand it. Everyone's talking about this. This 0 right here. And Justin says on the table, 0 is equal to -1 and 1. Notice how one input is giving you two different outputs. So that would make it not a function. So that's correct. And everyone who said that, like 0 has more than one output, like Shema and CJ, you are correct. So here's a tip for everyone else. So if you're still struggling with this, just look at, does X repeat? If X repeats, and you could write this in, I can't like write words here. If X repeats usually, and you see that it has a different Y output, it will not be a function. Perfect. And then again, if anyone has any clarifying questions or anything about that, let us know in the chat. Maybe someone else can help you or I can help you. Either way. All right, so cool. That is correct. Let's see. This is not a function because there are, like y'all said, X values are repeated for more than one Y value. In this case, the X value that was repeating was a 0 and it had two different Y values, which were the output. So it cannot be a function. Now, there's another way to check whether something is not a function, and that's if you make its graph, like here, this circle here in the graph. If you make a graph and you do something called the vertical line test, if y'all remember that. The vertical line test is, okay, let me let in KK 1 second. So the vertical line test is if you draw a vertical line, so that's a line up and down like this. If you draw a vertical line anywhere in your graph and you notice that it hits more than one time on the graph, see it hits here once and it hits here again. Because it hits more than once, it means it's not a function. So that is called the vertical line test. That's another way you can check whether something's a function or not. And again, let me know if anyone has any questions on that.
Can you say it again?
Yes. Which one? The vertical line test?
Yeah.
Yes. Let me just undo this. And let me go back. Okay, so basically I was saying if you look at a table and you're still confused, like I can't tell whether it's a function or not, your next step is you graph it. And if you were to graph this function on Desmos, or you make a graph yourself, like using an XY table, and you graph it, you notice that it's a circle. One way to check whether it's a function or not is this test. It's called the vertical line test. If you draw a line up and down, there's a typo there, and it crosses more than once, that means it's not a function. So I'm going to use my little drawing tool. So I'm going to draw a vertical line to test this. So this is vertical, that means up and down. I notice that it hits my graph here and it hits it right here. It crosses it 2 times. And if it crosses more than once, it means it's not a function. So this is another test to test whether a function is a function or not. To test whether a graph is a function, I mean. I hope that makes sense. And if not, please ask questions. All right, let me go ahead and clear my little drawings here. Clear all drawings, and let's move on to the next part. Cool, and then we have about 4 minutes in class. All right, y'all, so let's apply what we know. So I guess this will be our last thing we talk about. And then for the stuff we didn't finish, we'll just continue on Monday. But I do want to remind you that you have an asynchronous assignment that's due tomorrow, as well as submitting the notes for this today. So today, once this class is over, just take your pictures and submit the notes you took. It'll be very quick and easy to get that out the way. So this right here, what it's asking if it's a function. So let's look at this set of coordinate points right here. Now I'm gonna ask you all, is this a function or not? If it is, why? If it's not, why isn't it? Again, someone can unmute yourself or you could use the chat. Is this a function or not? Ernesto, you asked, where do we submit our pictures? On Google Classroom. So Justin says not a function. No, this is not a function. Does anyone know why it's not? Like what's the key? What was that?
It's crossing, like the line is crossing it's crossing the -1, and there's two of the same, if you can see it. -1 and -1 and -2 and -2, they're crossing.
These two, this right here? Hold on, let me just annotate it. This right here?
Yeah, and no, the other one.
Undo. This one?
Mm-hmm.
So this -2 and this 2?
Yeah.
You think that's a signal? Okay. Let's see what the chat says. Let's see. Kevin says no because the 1 repeats.
Okay.
And then let's see who else. Jazane says because there are more X values. And then Shaylin says 1 has 2 outputs. Okay, so y'all ready for the answer? So yeah, I mean, you're all correct. This is not a function, but it wouldn't be because of the Y's. So let me go ahead and explain the Y's. So some of you mentioned it, I think the 1 repeating. So basically remember, the first thing you wanna check if something's a function or not is if X is repeating. So if you were to label all this is X, this is Y, this is X, this is Y. Let's label all this. X always comes before Y. Now, if you see X repeating, that means it is not a function, just like those people just like those participants in the chat said. Notice how this input is giving you -2, and the same input of 1 is also giving you 3. So if we apply that definition, remember 1 input cannot give you 2 different outputs. That makes this not a function. So what you want to pay attention to is repeating inputs or repeating X's. So we're gonna put no. Let me know if anyone has any clarifications or is confused about that. Feel free to unmute yourself or to put it in the chat. All right, y'all, so it is actually 1:55, so we're gonna pause here. We'll be talking about domain and range on Monday, and you do have an assignment on Google Classroom tomorrow, so please make sure you pay attention to that. But today, we wanna make sure that you submit the assignment, the notes on Google Classroom. If anyone has any questions about that, feel free to stay. If you are good, you can feel free to head out, and your next class starts in about an hour, I believe. Make sure
Is
you,
class over?
yeah, it's over, but make sure you submit the notes that you took. Take pictures and submit it today.
So do we only have advisory tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow you only have advisory at 9:30 to 10.
If you're using a phone, how do you send pictures to your Google Classroom?
If you're using a what?
A phone.
Okay, so you took notes on binder paper?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you want to do is just use your phone camera and take a picture of those notes. And on your phone, you go to Google Classroom and attach the images. Does that make sense?
but I'm using Nano.
Or if you have like a computer or a Chromebook that has a camera, you could just hold up hold up your notes and take a picture like that too.
Okay.
Yeah, either way will work. But if you have difficulties, you could reach me through email. If you added me on Remind or on Google Classroom, you could send me a message if you have any trouble doing that.
Okay. So what's after this class?
So after this class, let me just look at the calendar for you. We're on Thursday, so right now it's a creative hour. So you all have a free hour from you all have a free 55 minutes from 2 to 2:55. And then at 3, your second period starts at 3.
Okay.
Yes, and after that you'd be done. So you have just one more class to attend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Cool. And anyone else who is here has a question or needs anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'll end the meeting. Oh, okay. Let's see. Science says, are we getting the async work today or tomorrow? So it's actually already posted there. So it's in there today, but it's due tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. So let me know if anyone else has any questions, clarifications.
Hi, can I get the class code for Google Classroom? I didn't write it on time.
So yes, let me go back to the slide. It's right here. There you go, and let me clear the drawings.
Oh. Okay, I'm in. Thank you.
Welcome. Cool, and then Angelica and Ernesto, are you two okay? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, just checking in.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm about to leave.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna make sure I mark you present though. Thank you for coming. I'm gonna
Okay.
go ahead and end this meeting, y'all. So you all have an hour of free time. Your next class starts at 3, and that's period 2.
Okay.
So, like, I was wondering if our handwriting is kind of bad.
That's fine. As long as you took notes and you can read it, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.